Y quiero atribuido con...
Yeah. Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you for connecting to this webinar, Internet 5G and Industry 4.0. I am very glad that you are accepting our invitation to this webinar. And also I want to thank you, our guests and presenters from Poland, Dr. Marcin Sici, Dr. Thomas Hyder, and Dr. Marcus Bevnerick, who are working in several activities industrially and academically in Varsovia and other Polish cities. Afterwards, when everybody, one of the presenters are going to deliver their topic, I will introduce them in more details. The first is Dr. Marcin Sici. He is a data and strategic analysis director at the Łódź University of Technology in the city of Łódź in Poland. He is responsible for analytics, risk management, and for 5G competence center businesses. He conducts scientific research in telco entrepreneurs, horizontal cooperation, and highly competitive markets. As the Polish telecoms regulator, he has focused on the implementation on the mission to provide citizens with access to modern digital services at the global TMT environment and of the European digital single market strategy in e-commerce. As a regulatory expert at UPC Poland, he was responsible for the regulated access to property and telecommunication infrastructure for investment purposes. As being analysis director at the Ministry of Digital Affairs, he coordinated the development of a concept of an electronic ID card as well as cooperation with ICT startups. During his professional career, Marcin Sici held numerous roles in the European Community and the United Nations international bodies related to electronic communication and e-commerce. And he has worked in several organizations for the Broadband Commission for Sustainable Development and the UN Commission on Science and Technology for Development of the OECD and Visegrad Group. So this is a very short summary of what he professionally, academia, he has developed and performed. So I will thank you, Dr. Marcin, to start with your interesting and important presentation. Please go ahead.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the floor. I'm hearing the echo, so maybe, okay, that works better. So if I may ask one of my colleagues, Thomas Hyder, for the presentation, we will start to get today with the 5G as a flywheel for fourth industrial revolution, which means that we will try to answer to some questions regarding how the telecom industry and how the new state-of-the-art wireless technology would support the economic development, especially in the fields of several economy branches that are going to accelerate in nearest future. So as I mentioned, 5G is believed to be not only the next telecom standard for wireless connection, giving some better quality of service, but also it's about some industrial development. So today we will speak a little bit more about the B2C, B2B level and the wholesale cooperation between between the entrepreneurs. So as you can see on the first slide, when it comes to the technology, 5G network is essential for the communication between the end users, between the machines. So it accelerates with wide range of other technologies like IoT, so Internet of Things, machine-to-machine communication, purely B2B industrial solutions from production, from assembly lines, but also for several branches of economy. And when it comes to the 5G network topology, it's always based on some 5G core hardware systems. Of course, there is a need to deploy an appropriate capacity in terms of 5G base stations that would fully cover the whole territory of, for example, the country we want to fully cover with this kind of technology. And of course, we need to deliver for the clients, I mean B2C, so end users as well as the B2B. So which means industrial clients, special dedicated 5G terminals that would allow them to use the whole capacity of the networks. And what follows from that, we can achieve far better technical conditions and transmission conditions for the service usage. If I may ask for the next slides, I would like to say a few words about the ecosystem that it's crucial for this technology development. So it was popularly believed that the telecom industry is completely self-sufficient, and it could have operated especially to guarantee an appropriate capacity and quality of service for the end users as on its own. Right now, while talking about 5G, we are seriously thinking about some technological mix combining horizontally integrated branches of economy. So as I mentioned in advance, 5G is believed to be a flywheel for the fourth industrial revolution, I mean production, but also for some, let's say, purely retail branches, like, for example, logistics, like smart solutions, smart grids, smart energy, fintech, and so on. So on the slide, you can see a wide range of solutions for B2C as well as B2B level that could be combined with this new technology in use. So what is essential is that first time in the, let's say, telecom market development history, we are facing this opportunity to accelerate in all horizontally integrated layers of industry. And that's why it's really state of the art. And I think that it's worth attention also from the academic point of view, as this kind of technological development would affect both end users and entrepreneurs interested in some more advanced, technologically advanced solutions. On the next slide, we can see some comparison between the all wireless mobile technologies, starting from 1G, going through 2G, 3G, LTE, and on the orange level, you can see the technical conditions. So first of all, we will have the technology that would guarantee incomparable boost in terms of quality and capacity. So throughputs, more than 1 gigabit per second, latency lower than 2 milliseconds, and over 100 devices per square meter approximately. So this is what we can achieve with 5G in use. And the philosophy of this technology is that it could be delivered as a network, as a service. So everyone interested in using 5G on the industrial level, I mean entrepreneurs, stakeholders, some production companies, they want to order, they are entitled to order an appropriate capacity and quality of the network for their dedicated solutions and their dedicated expectations. So the let's say supply is fully in line with the demand required by the industry, which is an exception to in comparison with the other technologies that were based on, let's say, this quite obvious scenario in which the base station is, let's say, is emitting the signal around with the radius of 3.5 kilometers, and everyone is delivered the same average quality 24/7. Right now, it's far more dedicated, far more customized, and far more in line with industrial expectations. On the next slide, you can see how the 5G rollout is being developed in a wide range of countries. As you can see, United States and Asian countries are leading in that. US, especially AT&T and Verizon, two major market players, are horizontally integrated. They started in 2018, and right now there are even more than 4 or 5 launches in US regarding 5G. Of course, when it comes to Asia, especially Korea, North Korea is leading. South Korea is leading, United States, and when it comes to the European level, European Union level, Vodafone is this, and T-Mobile and Orange are those providers who successfully launched between 2018 and 2020. They successfully launched first 5G networks. So it's not widely available among all EU member states, all over the world countries, but vast majority of countries in Asia, in Latin America, also in Europe has their 5G action plans. So the roadmaps how to achieve fully coverage. For Europe, it's 2025 is the year in which all EU member states should fully cover vast majority of cities and logistic roads with 5G in use. If I may ask for the next one, next slide, I would say a few words about how it works from the, let's say, purely commercial level. Here you can see some information. It's a Ericsson benchmark, so one of the Scandinavian companies that delivers some solutions for 5G, wide range of solutions. But what is really important is that when it comes to purely B2B industrial cooperation, there is no ready-to-use solutions, and they need to be customized in line with the customer B2B customer expectations. So if I were the entrepreneur interested in cost reduction and let's say some more effective KPIs for my industrial development, I need to connect with, first of all, with the mobile operator, and secondly, with solutions provider, like for example, Ericsson or the others, so as to find the best products that would fulfill my expectations on that. But what should, let's say, stick in our listeners and our viewers' attention is that it's the first time that we are using technology that is so advanced for both not only consumers, not only customers, but especially for industrial layer of the market. And that it's really amazing, that it's really interesting. And with that, I hope for a really fruitful discussion regarding that today. So thank you very much for this introductory remarks, and I would kindly ask my colleague Thomas Hyder to take the lead and say a few more about 5G and Industry 4.0. Thank you very much for your attention.
So thank you for
Dr. Marcin, for your presentation, very clear, and we had a lot of new information about in our country. We're already starting to make the regulation about that, and people are working on that also, but it's not still operational yet. Yeah. Now, what happened here? Now it corresponds to Dr. Thomas Hyder to deploy his presentation. I will present you Dr. Thomas Hyder. Thomas Hyder from the start of his professional career, was connected with industry, and especially with the application of automation technology and drive technology in modern production lines and manufacturing. He worked in Siemens Poland, where he was responsible for the sales in automotive, chemistry, engineering, mining, and other industrial sectors, along with information security. He's an expert in scope of automation in industry, modern robotics, Industry 4.0, and the Internet of Things. Commenting on the condition of Polish and international industry in the context of the fourth industrial revolution, participates in the industry transformation team of the Ministry of Industrial Development of Poland. He's a graduate from Warsaw University of Technology, the Institute of Industrial Automation, Department of Precision Engineering, as well as the Komiński University, where he graduated with an MBA. So this is the brief presentation of Thomas Hyder, who has a very long career and a lot of successes in this area of Industry 4.0 and in the industrial Internet of Things. So please, Dr. Hyder, you are now on the floor to make your important presentation.
So hello everybody. I hope greetings from Poland. This is the winter time. Okay, we are talking about a possibility for the Industry 4.0, especially the time from impending crisis. The crisis, yes, the pandemic and so on. This is all the topic for the Industry 4.0. What happened in the next time? Industry is one of the most important sector of the economy. Industry needs new idea for the development, both for technical sphere, but also for the competences or the human education. It is the competence that help better understand the market and the needs of customer. This competence is also you find to way into the market, and this market is currently undergoing the most intensive changes and transformation. Today, the threshold of the next jump, we are able to define the requirements of the modern market. There's also resource saving, high flexibility of production line, shortening the production cycle, personalization of products. From the technical point of view, the modern factory created all over the world are facility where digitalization of product process, data management, and high degree of automation and robotization. This market, it's possible that device communicate with each other, engineer platform, virtual simulation without a physical operation, the management and control of technological data and individual devices is carried out from the outreaching control system. Important for the success of the fourth industrial revolution is to recognize how industry and technology supplier to industry are prepared to change. The changes as related to the transition from concept to implementation. It is about modern management methods and the implementation of new technology of Industry 4.0. It is difficult to imagine an industry without automation today. Automation not only reduced production cost, but also improve accuracy and production quality. Nowadays, the new investment in the production area are not only the construction of new automated production line or new plants, but increasingly the modernization of older lines, old installation. After the use of new technology can effectively operate under new conditions. Such technology can be automate and robotics, intelligent internet transport using AGV, mobile car, or Internet of Things, IoT, in the combination with 5G transmission technology. Remember that the factory of the future is a hybrid of two areas. One, on the one hand, these are modern management methods. I mean, production taking into account current demand, supply chain management, or lean management, Kaizen, or the other modern methods of organization of production. On the other hand, industry is entering the field of modern technologies such as robotics, Internet of Things, big data, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and others. A holistic approach to resources, time, and processing. We operate from the manufacturer and the appliance. And also we get the modern products, increase efficiency, reduce the production time, and thus gain competitive advantages. The next question for that, this is a question about artificial intelligence. Can artificial intelligence help the industry? Perhaps the question should later be asked, how can artificial intelligence create a value in industry? The world is developing very fast. Some for the most important and fastest growing in the 21st century is the area on Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. We heard about the role of communication and connection between devices in the previous part of the webinar from Dr. Cichy. But the question should be asked, why do we need this communication? Why do we need to connect machine and devices to the internet? Why do we need IoT? Does this only make sense if you can make money on it? That is, when we can create a business value. Industry 4.0 reap great benefit and create significant value from the combination of Internet of Things and the artificial intelligence. Industry 4.0 and artificial intelligence work together in two-step process. This is a combination of 3 steps. The first step, this is a data collection. Today, production line and machine are increasingly equipped with the intelligent sensor. They can collect data about the production process and send it into the internet. This is clear. This is what we call the Internet of Things. Importantly, the cost of this sensor is constantly declining, and 5G technology should equip capacity of the transmission line. So we already have the data, but do we have successful information for us, or the useful information for us? This is where we enter the second stage of the process, second step of the process. This is data analysis. We are all aware that the life in the time of big data, the amount of the data collection of the people on computer and the increasing number of customer devices is simply unimaginable. Based on IDC forecast, as SIS Institute estimated that there's 163 zettabytes, that's a trillion bytes of digital information will be generated worldwide by 2025. This is where we face the fundamental problem. We have the data, but we have no information. This effect is known as a DARP effect. This is a data-rich, information poor. DARP effect is one of the biggest challenges for the Industry 4.0, and dealing with it is one of the key opportunities for the rapid development. The solution to the problem may be the use of artificial intelligence to analyze the data. Artificial intelligence this is an information system with a dynamic structure resembling a neural network. AI learn and analyze countless amount of information. Thanks for this, it is possible to extract the important information and generate solution, create the information and added value in the same time. So based on the data, they generate the information we need. The problem for us, this is not that we don't have the data. We don't have the information. This is a big problem. For the analyze the data, the artificial intelligence, this is the answer, the Industry 4.0. Artificial intelligence systems are used in some sector, for example, in marketing, in insurance, or the e-commerce. And this is their reality. But they are significantly used also in the industry. It is important to immediately rely on the filtering and the data processing platform based on artificial intelligence when the planning investment in IoT in industry. This is avoid unnecessary complication in the future. In the next third step, this is the action. We have the data collection, we have data analyze, yet just going to the action. Okay, we have the data. This is the Internet of Things. The data has been analyzed and turned into the information. There are the mechanisms of artificial intelligence. In the next step, how can we use it in the Industry 4.0? How to create added value, how to earn money. Some example, this is the human safety. Accident in the workplace lead to human tragedy, lead to family tragedy. For the company point of view, this is also associated with the high cost. Data analysis of historical and the current data make it possible to find a correlation between the various factors. This is also the developing of patterns and sequences of events. Artificial intelligence algorithms, by analyzing data, can warn about the risk or maybe even find a solution to intervene. Many companies now have a zero accident policy or zero harm policy in the commitment to protecting their employee. In addition, for the social expert, is translated into the reduction of business risk in the long term into the increased profit of the company. This is the first area. The second, for example, of course, this is optimization optimization in the area of production. Production data analysis begin with the collecting data from sensor, from single machine, from the data from the level, the control system, or for the data for the production management system, for the MES system. AI is able to identify which element of area of production is to optimizing. This may be associated with a jump of energy consumption in a specific place, less efficient operation in machine for a specific activity, or even the personal composition of the services during a given shift. AI can analyze all these variables in the real time and find, for example, and introduce in work optimization and resource consumption in the production process. So thanks to artificial intelligence, it is possible to optimize the organization of production. The next area from the action, this is a prediction. The ability to predict event with a certain probability is one for the area that brings significant saving. Many companies base their production patterns, for example, machine working time, service period, planned downtimes, etc., on the preventives method, or servicing based on the recommendation of the machine manufacturer or historical data and development patterns. Artificial intelligence is able to recognize the combination of conditions that causes failures, what action allowed them to avoid failures, how long the machine are able to work flawlessly without periodic service, and what condition allow them to do. Most importantly, the platform is analyzed in the real time. All this may allow for reduction of number of unplanned downtime or breakdowns, reducing of number of cyclical services per year by extending the work between services, and longer machine life leading to increased production. The next area, this is new product or new business solution. More and more companies make money not only from one-off sales, but also from services, from service and product development during their life cycle. The employment of Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, also with the high probability to assume that we generate a number of optimization and idea for the improving products. They will be support the development of new solution and the creation of new uses for the already existing products. This in turn will translate into the increase of possibility success of income. The question, what next? What happened in the future about the artificial intelligence and IoT? The development of artificial intelligence is dynamic and open up to number of new opportunity. On the other hand, it still has limitation. Currently, we don't know what happened in the future. We are not able to fully predict how the artificial intelligence will develop in the next year. This is a working process. The biggest question: will she be friendly or not friendly? This is also possible. Thank you for the attention, and we are going to the next part of our presentation with Professor Marcus Bevnerick.
Thank you, Dr. Hyder. Very important your comments and analysis of the importance of Industry 4.0 and its relationship with artificial intelligence, which is a very hot topic in the recent years and will get more hot in the following years. So I will now introduce Dr. Marcus Bevnerick. Dr. Marcus Bevnerick is a professor in several universities. Now is in the Łódź University in Poland. He also is a invited researcher in the School of Engineering at the Universidad Autónoma de Chile since 2015, and we are doing with him several projects and papers and publications and seminars during these 5 years. He also is a visiting professor in several universities in Europe, United States, and Latin America. He worked for more than 20 years in Mexico, developing automation and manufacturing systems. And he also has several postdoctoral students and PhD students from all over Europe and also from Latin America. And he will deliver us his final presentation today about Industry 4.0 and related to lean philosophy and manufacturing. Please, Dr. Bevnerick, go ahead with your excellent presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dean. Well, I will try to present in Spanish, okay? Because I'm well, this part of presentation will be in Spanish. Buenos días, Chile. Buenas tardes, la gente que nos escucha de los países europeos. Voy a platicarles acerca de las cuestiones relacionadas con la industria 4.0 y el primer tópico que quiero con ustedes discutir es qué oportunidades nos brinda la industria 4.0, especialmente en tiempos de una posible crisis. Aquí esta parte ya la ha mencionado, ya lo ha discutido con ustedes, Dr. Hyder, pero yo quiero referirme más a las cuestiones de qué tipo de ventajas operacionales, por ejemplo, podemos ver de parte de la industria 4.0 y pues cómo estas ventajas lo podríamos aprovechar en un tiempo de una posible crisis. Pues todavía no sabemos cómo todo esto se va a desarrollar, pero pues esperemos que ya pronto terminará. Pues yo tengo un motivo muy importante para tal propósito, pues esta parte de vivir en un ambiente sano, pues a mí me hace falta mis viajes a México y a Chile, donde ya tengo tiempo sin viajar y pues extraño un poco a esta parte del mundo. ¿Qué tipo de oportunidades tenemos? Yo pienso que las podemos dividir, estas oportunidades, en dos diferentes tipos: las posibles oportunidades operacionales y las oportunidades para los negocios. Bueno, operacionales es una sumatoria de las características de las tecnologías que estamos utilizando para la industria 4.0 y también de las oportunidades que nos brindan las 5G. Si vamos a conjuntar estas dos áreas, tendremos en la parte operacional de esta empresa, tenemos, por supuesto, podemos llegar a un mejoramiento de la eficiencia del uso de los recursos. Los recursos operacionales desde el punto de vista de una empresa, pues el mejoramiento de la eficiencia de las máquinas, herramientas, el mejoramiento de la eficiencia del diferente equipamiento logístico, todo lo que operacionalmente está soportando los procesos productivos y la operación de una planta industrial. Otra posible ventaja, otro posible logro es la mejora de la calidad los productos. Aquí estamos, digamos, mezclando las operaciones altamente automatizadas con el alto nivel de la digitalización y con la gente mejor preparada. Por supuesto, y también por un diferente proceso de diseño de un producto donde no estamos utilizando los métodos convencionales, pero estamos utilizando los métodos digitales. Esto nos permite esperar que la calidad de los productos que estamos fabricando va a aumentar y de tal manera generalmente va a mejorar. Por supuesto, todo esto si tenemos la mejora en la eficiencia, ¿qué es lo que significa esto? Estamos evitando los tiempos muertos y los tiempos de avarias. Por los motivos, por ejemplo, del mantenimiento de la implementación, de mantenimiento predictivo que mencionó el doctor Hyder. Así estoy viendo desde el punto de vista de los diferentes proyectos relacionados con la industria 4.0, las posibles mejoras, los posibles cambios en la parte operacional de una planta productiva. Negocios. Por supuesto que todo esto nos brindará la oportunidad de reaccionar más rápidamente y de la manera más precisa a las necesidades del mercado. Ahorita antes de pandemia los mercados han sido muy dinámicos y con muchos cambios de la demanda de los...
Para poder acompañarlos con los profesores y con el material de diseño.
Perdón, pero oí la voz de alguien y un poco la voz me sacó de onda, pero bueno, era subiendo una adaptación más rápida y precisa a las necesidades de mercado. Por supuesto, todo esto significará más ventas y una mejor rentabilidad para una planta productiva, la mejor rentabilidad para nuestras operaciones. Y también yo pienso que hay una relación muy derecha, muy estrecha entre las cuestiones ambientales, entre las cuestiones ambientales y las operaciones que nos permite desarrollar la tecnología de 4.0. ¿Qué caminos nos llevan a la implementación de la industria? Pues yo pienso, de acuerdo a lo que estamos observando y lo que estamos haciendo, pues la empresa, el Instituto de la Industria 4.0 está haciendo, entre otras, las implementaciones prácticas de las plantas, de los conceptos de la industria 4.0. Estamos observando que antes de implementar la industria 4.0, la planta tiene que pasar por toda la experiencia de la manufactura lean, de la manufactura esbelta. Es decir, que antes de, si se quiere aprovechar todas las oportunidades que nos brinda la industria 4.0, la empresa tiene que trabajar prácticamente sin ninguna ineficiencias. Todas las ineficiencias las podemos reducir o las tenemos que minimizar. Y para tal propósito nos sirve nos sirve la implementación de los conceptos de la manufactura esbelta. También a través de manufactura esbelta vamos a desarrollar los conocimientos y cambiar la forma de pensamiento de los operarios, de los directivos de la planta. Así podemos irlos preparando para la implementación exitosa de la industria 4.0. Del lado derecho estamos viendo las cuestiones de ambiente, que es lo que estamos considerando como las cuestiones de ambiente. Estamos pensando sobre las regulaciones fiscales y las regulaciones legales que están apoyando las posibilidades de la implementación de 4.0, de las posibilidades del desarrollo de la preparación de la gente, de la posibilidad del cambio cultural de la sociedad para una implementación exitosa de un alto nivel de automatización y de la digitalización de las operaciones de las plantas productivas. Todo esto es una breve respuesta a la pregunta cómo podemos observar, cómo podemos implementar exitosamente la industria 4.0. Muchas gracias por escucharme, muchas gracias por compartir con nosotros esta presentación. Si alguien quisiera con nosotros tener un contacto más directo, aquí tenemos los datos del instituto, también a través de la colaboración con la Universidad Autónoma de Chile lo podemos hacer. Como lo mencionó Guillermo, estamos colaborando. Yo tengo el honor de ser el profesor investigador de la Universidad Autónoma desde hace 5 o 6 años, pues ya no recuerdo desde hace cuánto tiempo. Y bueno, muchas gracias, y ahorita pienso que vamos a pasar a la parte de preguntas y respuestas, ¿verdad, Guillermo?
Así es. Por favor, pueden hacer las preguntas a través del chat, o si alguien quiere levantar la mano, va. No, yo tengo el micrófono prendido. ¿Me escuchan? Can you hear me? Okay, yes.
Yes, of
course. So now we're in the period for some consultation questions you could, or some comments you can make about the presentation of Dr. Marcin, Dr. Hyder, and Dr. Bevnerick. You can do it by chat or by putting your hand on and make a question directly through the microphone. So I want to ask Dr. Marcin about when is the application of 5G in Poland or other countries in Europe still in a pilot period, or just is a commodity, to say in some way?
I understand. So as far as European market is concerned, we've got several launches regarding 5G development. Shall I ask someone for switching off the...
oh, sorry.
That's great. That's better. Thank you very much for that. So as far as European market is concerned, we are still working simultaneously. There is more and more 5G successful launches among Nordics and Western Europe countries. A couple of weeks ago, Hungary realized and finished the auction for the spectrum distribution for 5G, but vast majority of countries are still in the process of 5G tests and trials. for both B2C and B2B levels. As far as the European Commission KPIs are concerned, till 2025, as I mentioned, all EU member states are required to deliver 5G for all industrial areas and transport logistic roads. So it's quite challenging. We've got free bandwidth of spectrum for that. I mean, 700 megahertz purely coverage, covering frequencies 3.4, 3.8 gigahertz and 28 gigahertz for 26 gigahertz for pure industrial usage. So that's how it works right now. Of course, due to the COVID, some deliverables and some industrial developments were a little bit postponed. So right now, vast majority of countries focus on resilient and recovery facilities. So which does not mean that 5G it's not in the scope of their core businesses, but we expect the 5G to be a little bit more behind schedule, which does not mean that we are not doing our best to fully support that from the industrial point of view. And I believe that this kind of discussions are also really crucial for potential entrepreneurs interested in 5G in understanding how this kind of technology would support them and would help them to accelerate just in post-COVID reality. Thank you very much. Please unmute your micro.
Dr. Brasici, Marcin, thank you very much. Very clear your explanation and what's going on with 5G in Poland and in Europe, and you told about other countries also. So thank you very much. Is there any questions on a chat, something like that, so I know that we can make the questions to our speakers? Francia.
Tenemos una pregunta en el chat, decano.
Ya.
La pregunta dice, ¿en qué medida un uso ético de la inteligencia artificial centrada en la persona podría ser un limitante al desarrollo de soluciones industriales?
Ya.
Particularmente preocupante es el uso de datos personales y la pérdida de puestos de trabajo.
Yeah. There is a question from a participant who is asking how are you trying to manage, or what is the discussion about using artificial intelligence in industry, but related also to ethical situation or problems. Also this connected with the managing of personal data. Is there an issue that in the industry or not, from the ethical point of view?
Okay, maybe I'll start with the answer to this question. Okay. The question of personal data and protected the personal data in the case of use of artificial intelligence. This is maybe not the problem in the production area. Mostly this is a problem for the social point of view, for the behavior and for the intelligent or smart city, not smart factory. In the factory area, more than mostly for the data, this is data for the production. And protected of personal data, this is not the case we have on the stage. More problem from my point of view, this is the protection of data, of personal data in the area of, for example, city. This is the protection of our private data in, for example, Google, for example, social media, and so on and so on. And we work together with the people from the European Committee about roles, about their policy, how we protected personal data in the white area. For the production area, the first point, the data in the production, the owner of the data, this is our business. This is our owner of this factory. And all the next step with the artificial intelligence or the optimization of the production, going to the protection of protected of production data, not personal data. In my opinion, a problem protected the personal data. This is more the problem smart city, not smart industry.
Dr. Hyder, this is the reason the industry is not a big problem, because you're managing technical data, so temperature, pressures, flows, whatever, no? So this more would be a problem from the point of view of industrial espionage, not from the. But industrial espionage has always existed. So if you don't have a good cybersecurity, more than the problem of ethical aspect is the problem of being the data being stolen from other companies who are interested in the development of a particular company or manufacturing plant or whatever. I'm correct on that?
Of course, this is one for the topic on the stage. On the other hand, the personal data with temperature, for example, and so on, protected people avoid the pandemic. And this is political and government regulation. The question collected of the data or not, this is more the question what happened not only in the production area, what happened with the data, for example, in the city or in the office, in the government, and so on and so on. I have another example for the situation in the pandemic. What happened currently in Poland, for example, or in Europe. My daughter-in-law is a lawyer and works mostly from home. This is she must shopping online, and she is an example of new behavior. The result, the carriers delivered hundreds of thousands of parcels in Europe day by day, every day. And from the point of view of production, maybe of the business, the biggest requirement this is the coordinating their supply chain, not only the delivery, also the returns. The question what happened with the data, of course. On the other hand, the business should be prepared for the returns. And the returns is example how to trade and the production must immediately adapt to the new condition. This is currently the situation in the Europe. And without a solution, the Industry 4.0, without IoT, without artificial intelligence, without a data collection, this is true, without a big data analysis, it is not possible to guarantee, for example, the preparing of the returns of goods by the online shopping. This is a new situation. This is a new situation in the last 2 years. This is currently an example what in the pandemic time, in COVID-19, without industry, the digital technology, the connectivity, we could be not function as a society. And the industry allows they operate normally for the people. This is my opinion. The protection of the data, this is more the problem of the government and the problem of the production.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hyder. Very good. Thank you. Is there any other questions? ¿Hay algunas preguntas de algún participante, ya sea por chat o que quiera levantar la mano y hacer la pregunta directamente a través del micrófono?
Sí. Tenemos otra pregunta, decano.
Ya.
Dice, ¿cuáles son los desafíos de las universidades, especialmente en ciudades que aún no tienen 5G?
A ver, repítame, por favor.
¿Cuáles son los desafíos para las universidades, especialmente en las ciudades que aún no tienen 5G?
Ya.
Can I one remarks for the last question?
Did you understand the question, or?
I have also the example for the data protection in the production area. This is maybe very interesting. We have also in the institute one project about the tracing the people in the factories. Tracing what moving the people in the area. And from the technical point of view, this is possible not only with a sticker, not only with the net card, not only with RFID area. Theoretically, it is possible with handy. All the people, all the personnel have the handy. For the technical point of view, it should be possible to tracing and moving the people in their production area. Interesting. From the official point of view, for the government, this is not possible. This is also in the area of production not possible to trace the people with a private handy. This is an example between a different between a private use of data of business use of data of the.
Question. For any of you could answer the question, or various of you. Someone asked, what will the perspective for an higher education institution in the future or in the near future that doesn't have 5G compared to a university that can deploy 5G for their activities? Is there any problem? What do you think? Please, Dr. Bevnerick, Dr. Hyder o Dr. Marcin.
Si entendí bien la pregunta, cuando vamos a iniciar en las universidades los programas, ¿sí? Para los... ¿Te oí bien o porque hay diferentes ruidos durante la transmisión de tu pregunta? ¿Cuándo vamos a empezar en las universidades este tipo de programas? ¿Esto fue la pregunta perdón, pero no te oí bien?
No, la pregunta es, ¿qué sucede o qué va a suceder, por lo menos en el futuro cercano, con aquellas universidades o instituciones de educación superior en general que tengan 5G para sus actividades, tanto administrativas como académicas, comparada con aquellas instituciones que no la tengan, no tengan la 5G?
Bueno, yo pienso que estas universidades que tendrán acceso a la red 5G serán más competitivos, porque, bueno, tendrán que mezclar diferentes modelos de las clases a distancia, híbrido, ¿sí? Tendrán acceso más rápido a diferentes fuentes de información, a diferentes bases de datos en diferentes países, en diferentes lugares. Podrían además mejorar su servicio a los alumnos por una inscripción más rápida, por prácticamente el servicio entre un alumno y una universidad sería más parecido a la Internet de cosas, ¿sí? Que vamos a evitar las filas antes de la oficina del decano, ¿sí? La gente no va a esperar, pero va a ver su decano querido a través de la red computacional. Muy rápido van a intercambiar. El intercambio entre los investigadores de diferentes países a una velocidad más alta que permite diferir los lugares entre los cuales se pueden comunicar los investigadores, los profesores con los alumnos. Bueno, yo pienso que puras ventajas, ¿no?
Quiero hacer una consulta aquí. ¿De qué manera? Porque siempre aquí en Chile y en muchos países se discute que aún teniendo 4G, ¿no es cierto?, hay un problema con el ancho de banda que te proporciona el proveedor de Internet. Y que el ancho de banda a veces lo manejan y a veces te dan más ancho de banda y menos ancho de banda. Y que aún teniendo 4G con un bando de ancho un poco más reducido, te afecta al performance de tu Internet, digamos. Eso sobre todo pasa en las casas, ¿eh? No tanto en las grandes empresas, porque ahí el proveedor se preocupa de darle el mayor ancho de banda. Pero la 5G tengo entendido que permite un mayor ancho de banda que 4G. Además de la velocidad en micropauts, en megapauts o lo que sea.
La velocidad sí, but I think that this question you should to send to Marcin Cichy, because maybe he, with more details, will explain us the difference between 4G and 5G. Okay, it will be better, I think. Marcin, what do you think about?
Yeah. So when it comes to technical conditions, the 4G technology, it's widely called as a LTE technology, with a little bit less advanced KPIs in terms of quality and in terms of network capacity. It was presented on my slides that with the 5G technology, we can achieve even less than 3 milliseconds of latency. So it's really just in time transmission, even from the remote areas, even within the long distance. We can achieve a little bit more in terms of the capacity, especially in industrial capacity, at least 100 devices per square meter approximately. Of course, it's not achievable in let's say in assembly line and in the factory, but it shows the visible progress in terms of the available capacity. And last but not least, it's also about the throughput. So the transmission is at least 1 gigabit per second, with the possibility for even upgrade to 10 gigabit per second. So it's not only for compulsive computer players, but also for industry, for wide rate of usage. I mean, video on demand, some retail solutions, as well as the industrial one. It's widely available. And last but not least, from let's say this philosophy, technological philosophy, as I mentioned, is a network as a service. So it's a little bit more customized. So every industrial entrepreneur is privileged to ask his, let's say, provider, I mean, for example, mobile operator, to deliver the network, to deliver the wireless transmission that would fulfill his expectations. So which means that it's not standardized among all users, but it's strictly dedicated to the special needs. So it's completely this 5G is completely game changer in terms of how this product will be delivered in years future from economic point of view as well. So it will be not the, let's say, mass product anymore. It will be customized and strictly dedicated to the special needs of the industrial entrepreneurs. So that's the visible difference. It's a visible, let's say, a step forward in terms of the technology development.
Thank you, Dr. Marcin. Thank you very much for your explanation about this difference and the great possibilities, the good performance of 5G for different areas of the economy and also academia. So I think the deployment of 5G will improve the academic activities, in particular for universities, in different ways. Yeah. So it's a good point what you have expressed in this moment. Thank you very much. Francia, ¿hay alguna otra pregunta?
Sí, decano, tenemos otra pregunta. La hace Víctor Conte y pregunta si existen proyectos de aplicación que se hayan realizado en colaboración entre Chile y la organización durante los últimos años y cómo ven la idea de generar un programa de estudios de pregrado en esta línea.
Ya.
Sí. Bueno. Sí, hemos desarrollado los proyectos, pero hasta este momento más dedicados a las cuestiones del Kaizen. Entonces, esta parte que se debería de implementar en las empresas antes de la implementación de la industria 4.0, ahorita estamos pensando sobre abrir conjuntamente un instituto, ¿verdad, decano? De la industria 4.0 en la facultad. Pero bueno, sí, aquí estamos esperando la luz verde de parte de las autoridades de la universidad, pero sí hemos hablado varias veces acerca de este tópico. El programa en línea yo pienso que es un proyecto que sería de un gran interés. Y les quiero mencionar de que aquí sí tenemos, hemos abrido 2 programas de MBA, uno en el área de la industria 4.0, el otro ahorita estamos también ofreciendo al público el primer MBA en la industria 5.0. Entonces, por aquí también quizás vamos a tener la posibilidad de trabajar con las redes europeas en la parte de la industria 5.0, a convertirlo en los programas en línea. Yo pienso que es una idea que me suena muy interesante. Muy interesante. La cuestión de ver cómo lo podríamos armar, ¿no? Porque en esta parte también algunos de ustedes conocen el TEC de Monterrey y también el TEC de Monterrey, la GAD del TEC de Monterrey. También estamos en las prácticas como ir intercambiando los profesores entre diferentes programas de MBA. Suena muy interesante.
A propósito de lo que acaba de decir, que es muy importante, ya, y te voy a hacer un símil con un trabajo que me tocó hacer hace mucho tiempo en una fábrica de alimentos. Entonces, a mí me invitaron a hacer instalar un sistema de gestión de calidad, incluidas las normas ISO. Estoy hablando hace muchos años atrás. Pero lo primero que yo les dije es que antes que hacer instalar un sistema de gestión de calidad, tenían que ordenar la fábrica. Tenían que ordenar la fábrica, así de simple, con cosas muy elementales, antes de introducirse a hacer gestión de calidad. Porque si no tenían ordenada la fábrica, ¿no es cierto?, las distintas partes de la fábrica, incluso la higiene, ¿no es cierto?, ciertos métodos básicos de operación y de proceso, no tenía sentido saltar a calidad porque iban a estar con una brecha muy alta, sin tener solucionado, como digo, esas cosas básicas de operación y de ordenamiento y de limpieza y de higiene. Lo mismo pasa con la industria 4.0, como tú mismo lo has dicho, que explique por qué primero hay que tener ordenado las cosas respecto al Lean antes de poder hacer una integración de industria 4.0. Marius.
Bueno, bueno, y la pregunta finalmente perdón, pero me estuve concentrando en la lista de las preguntas de los chats. Entonces, perdí la última frase de lo que has dicho. A ver,
yo te expliqué un asunto de una fábrica que yo había trabajado de alimentos y que iban a instalar sistemas de gestión de calidad.
No, en cuanto a los...
Se va a partir con el ordenamiento de la casa. Y lo mismo, el mismo símil o analogía se puede hacer con Lean y con Industria 4.0, que antes, tú mismo lo has dicho, y por qué es importante antes de hacer un proyecto de Industria 4.0 en alguna industria o compañía, hay que hacer Lean primero.
Sí, la primera es de que empiezan los proyectos de la Comunidad Europea, con los grandes fondos dedicados a los proyectos de la implementación de la digitalización y de los conceptos de 4.0 en la industria agrícola. Es una cuestión. Empezarán los concursos, yo pienso que pronto, por lo menos es lo que dicen, ¿no? La otra cosa de que hasta la fecha hemos implementado, pero en Polonia, los conceptos de Lean en las plantas de alimentos, ¿sí? Pero ahorita estamos viendo, vamos a viajar a una planta que está fabricando, que está encargada en la fabricación de elementos de los pollos, ¿no? Está fabricando, está manufacturando los pollos para las grandes cadenas de los consumidores, no solamente en Polonia, pero también en la Comunidad Europea. Y en la próxima semana tendremos con ellos una sesión para ver. Ellos ya han terminado la implementación de Lean y ahorita quieren pasar al otro paso, entonces la implementación de los elementos de 4.0. De hecho, será la primera prueba en la industria alimenticia de esta secuencia de la implementación. Tendremos una visita de un día, vamos a platicar sobre diferentes posibilidades en este ramo, ¿no? Sí.
Ahí tengo entendido, Francia, que hay más preguntas, ¿no?
Sí, hay más preguntas. Dice Jenny, pregunta, ¿en qué grado estamos preparados en las universidades para preparar profesionales que aporten en este nuevo escenario? ¿Y qué tipo de profesiones nuevas se están creando en el mundo para formar profesionales?
Dar unos ejemplos de las universidades. ¿Puedo dar unos ejemplos de las universidades polacas? Están ofreciendo por lo pronto las materias de 4.0 que tienen los laboratorios de 4.0 de la inteligencia artificial. Tenemos en Polonia como 14 hubs donde están haciendo las diferentes intercambios académicos con los intercambios industriales. Sí estamos preparando los profesionistas, pero desafortunadamente el número de las personas ya preparadas no es suficiente. El problema que existe es un problema de un cambio cultural, de un problema de la forma de pensamiento. Y aquí sí somos pobres, ¿no? Pobres. Digo, pobres en el sentido de que el número de las personas que se han educado no es suficiente, y esto es uno de los problemas que tenemos con el desarrollo de estas nuevas propuestas, ¿no? ¿Sí?
This is always strikes me with the same situation at the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. there was also a technical revolution, which was, of course, moved by the Industrial Revolution at the end of the 18th century. But at the end of the 19th century and beginning of the 20th century, there was a lot of new technical developments in several aspects. And universities, I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, in a very fast way, introduced these technologies like mechanics, electromechanics, and including in Chile, we started with that in several institutions, of course, with not the pace and intensity as in Europe or the United States, but we had that. And now we're talking about that, and there's some programs about machine learning or artificial intelligence, some courses, and a lot of people and professionals, including our university and some other university and the Association for Chilean Engineers are talking about that. But including our country is already working in regulations for 5G, but I don't see that the jump from the traditional way of doing things, of manufacturing or producing and production in general, will go for Industry 4.0 in more with high diffusion of that. I don't know if in Europe it's already so or it's also a little bit slow in these aspects. I think the Chinese are more faster in that. Thank you.
Yes, in my opinion, this is also the problem not only in Chile or the South of America. This is also the problem in Europe. And also, in my opinion, the development of the university, or they prepare the university for the education people in the sector, Industry 4.0 or new technology. This is a big advantage. And from Poland, from the Polish point of view, for example, this is a question of money. And without additional money, additional investment in this sector, it should be not possible to prepare the necessary people for that. This is the problem for the all Poland. Maybe another country, maybe in West European country, this should be better. I don't know what happened in the USA. I don't know what happened in China, and this is also true. In my opinion, the Chinese people going very, very fast. Also in the education, in the university, or for the education, they're preparing the people for the new roles, for the new new advance.
¿Más preguntas al respecto? ¿O más preguntas a nuestros expositores?
Sí, esta fue más o menos respondida ya, pero dice, ¿existe una coexistencia y transición entre las tecnologías móviles actuales y la nueva tecnología 5G? Sobre todo pensando en las industrias, el cambio que esto provoca.
Perdón, no entendí la primera parte donde hablaste de la transición.
Dice, ¿existe una coexistencia y transición entre las tecnologías móviles actuales y la nueva tecnología 5G?
The question is there any plan or methodology for the transition between the present the present TI applications to the 5G technology? So there is a transition or methodology to make this transition. I think the question means that it will be smooth or will be with a lot of problems.
Yeah, can I just come in here? As far as problems are concerned, there is only one. That, as I mentioned before, every end user needs to change his mobile phone, because the current LTE technology is not comparable and it's not compatible with 5G. So when we are talking about the new spectrum that those devices operate on, I mean 700 megahertz C-band and 26 gigahertz, there is a need to switch to another technology of mobile handsets as well. So which brings us to the conclusion that everyone who wants to use 5G needs to wait till the end of his contract or to go to the store and buy another mobile. That's how it works for vast majority of operators right now. So from the end user perspective, there is the visible substantial capex for this investment. From the entrepreneur point of view, the situation is completely different. As I mentioned, every solution is customized and strictly dedicated to the clarified needs, which means that we are talking about extremely different, let's say, reality in terms of finance, in terms of budget for this kind of investment. So when it comes to industry point of view, it's completely level playing field. I would say tabula rasa, as everyone is starting with the same starting point, and the potential expenditures needs to be clarified case by case.
I have read in some article from people from TI and providers of internet that the transition from 4G to 5G will be difficult, not because from a technical point of view, but from a business point of view, because most companies in the world, or institutions in the world, or systems in the world are already established 4G, and they did a lot of investment for that, and they don't want to lose this investment so rapidly until they have used it for a long time. So they are resistant to change because of that, because they already did an investment in 4G just recently, and they are not willing to change to 5G because of this. There are two things: they're going to lose their investment, and also they will have to assume new costs. They shouldn't do so rapidly until the 4G gets really obsolete. That's how I've read that.
You're to some extent you are right for the B2B level. So I mean the industrial branch of economy. It is a simple question: how fast the entrepreneurs can reach an appropriate return on assets. So this is the only KPI that supposedly would be taken into consideration by investors whilst facing this kind of decision to enter or not to enter the new technology, to enter the 5G or to stay with LTE and current data transmission. So it is popularly believed that it will take a huge amount of money, and the payback from investments, it's not lower than 5 to 10 years. So that's how it works right now.
Right.
But for the time being, when it will be more and more mass product for entrepreneurs, we can expect the capex cost visible decrease, and what follows from that also quite more lenient weight for maintenance, and some smaller costs for maintenance as well.
Yes, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, for a new company or for a new entrepreneur, he doesn't have any major cost in 4G because he's only a user, yeah. But he doesn't have any infrastructure yet to do that. So he will be willing to adapt the new system because for him will be more or less the same cost of getting 4G as a user. So, or for having his company working, moving. The trouble is for the established large company or medium-sized company that already invested, and including governmental organization that already invested in 4G, you know. So, but for newcomers, it will be not a problem to adopt 4G, 5G, sorry. No. Thank you. And another question, Francia?
Sí, tenemos una más. Existe una disputa en cuanto al estándar de 5G al que podrían optar los países, particularmente entre la oferta americana y China.
Entre americana y China, ya.
La decisión por uno o por otro conlleva consecuencias en la carrera por incorporarse a la industria 4.0.
There's two ways of adopting 5G. One is the standard the Chinese are trying to deploy, and the other one is that the North America want to introduce in the market. So what would be the consequences of adopting one or the other?
Well, I think that I'm the right person to answer to that question. So there is no different standards. I mean that there is a little bit politics in that regarding the competition between North America and China, having in mind that also there are some mid players like, for example, Nordic Scandinavian countries like Ericsson or Nokia, who also deliver the devices for 5G rollout. So the standard is only one. It's a 3GPP standard that it's widely available and described in terms of technology, but in terms of the competition, industrial competition between providers, we've got several market players, providers that are ready to deliver technical solutions for industry, for B2C level as well. So that's how it works. I don't want to take a look at politics from the purely commercial point of view. I believe that it's good that there is a competition and every country is allowed to guarantee what we called in Europe technologically neutral solutions, which means that we can combine all infrastructures, we can combine several market players. And from my perspective, it is really important not to use the only one provider, but to have this, let's say, first and second choice possibility, and to be more, let's say, be more pragmatic on that. But as I mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, in Europe, we've got 7 or 6 providers that are ready to deliver solutions for that products. And I think that this competition guarantee an appropriate value for the money spent on that.
Is there any other question, or are we all done with the chat question, the questions through chat?
Tengo la última, ahora sí.
Yeah. Now the last question.
¿En qué afectará a las empresas de servicios el cambio de 4 a 5G en cuanto a sus plataformas actuales y su adaptabilidad?
Yeah, the question is how will service companies be affected from the change from 4G to 5G? That it means service companies, service industries.
So what I can say from technical point of view, they will reach better conditions. I mean, technical transmission conditions. So this new technology gives more capacity, more quality, and the possibility to deliver service just in time, which is a little bit new. It's quite new in comparison with the current LTE. And what's more, it will give a better solution to what has already been said by Thomas Hyder, that our, let's say, capacity expectations are growing. In Poland, we can observe even exponential growth of data usage from gigabyte to petabyte right now, which means that we need to multiply the network capacity as well. So it's not the question about the better quality only, but how we could face the social expectations in nearest future. Everyone uses data. You mentioned about machine-to-machine, IoT communication. So we need more fuel, we need more energy. And this energy is strictly connected with, first of all, with the spectrum. So I mean frequencies that are used like some kind of pipeline, like some kind of motorway for the cars. And if we had this kind of better pipeline, why do not use the better cars? And that's what's the 5G guarantee right now.
Okay, maybe from my side, information about possible services with 5G. This is also the question for the customer or for the business. For the customer point of view, this is of course the possibility about total new services. We are talking about, I don't know, 3D theater or 3D video at home, and for these services, it is necessary to 5G technology or another possibility to going with the data transfer. From the factory point of view, one for the example, this is a support a service. For example, biggest problem also in the Europe, this is educated people. Educated people also in services, our services in the country, and step by step the company prepared a support for the people with a video or the online video connection between the clients and service center. With the new technologies, not necessary to travel 1,000 kilometers to the customer. Should be possible to have a video conference or the video show with the 5G technology with people with the maintenance in this place, with the video connection with the service center. And this is one example. They're preparing the new services from a customer through the new technology. For example, support a service activity in another city, in another place.
Question about the education of people in these areas, because there is a lack of them all over the world. Yeah, but what if I had to start educating my students here at the university, at least the students of the engineering programs, what would be the basic topics I should deliver them to put them in some skills that so they can interact with the new technology? I'm thinking about, for starting, not having a complete program, but if I have an industrial engineering program, what should I, or an informatics program or chemical engineering program, which we have, what should be the basic tools I should deliver them or teach them so they at least are knowledgeable about that? In the short run, of course.
Yo pienso que antes de enseñar de las herramientas, tienes que enseñar el cambio cultural, porque la gente va a absorber las herramientas y los nuevos conocimientos con mejores ganas. Si antes, por ejemplo, les explicarás para qué sirven, qué tipo de impacto humano, bueno, este tipo de cosas. Nosotros estamos, por ejemplo, en nuestros programas de posgrado, independientemente si se dedican a las cuestiones de 4.0 o de 5.0. Estamos ahorita precisamente hablando de 4.0, por ejemplo. Estamos empezando con la cultura, las partes de la cultura de Kaizen. Estamos empezando con las cuestiones de cómo crear a un ejecutivo de 4.0. ¿Qué tipo de habilidades? ¿Sí? ¿Qué tipo de habilidades debería de tener un ejecutivo de una industria o de una organización que quiere implementar estos conceptos? Y después estamos pasando a las tecnologías, a las herramientas técnicas. Pero estamos empezando con las cuestiones, como se dice, suaves, ¿no? ¿Sí? Esto es la parte, según yo, es la más importante. Porque si yo empiezo a enseñar las herramientas y la gente no sabe, no quiere aceptarlas porque algunas cuestiones son conflictivas y hay un conflicto de intereses entre la gente que no entiende, la gente que no está preparada y las herramientas que yo quiero implementar. Entonces, al revés, es lo que pensaron.
Would you be able to share with us some of these programs or courses or workshops or whatever you do about the culture change that you are already doing at your institutions? Do you have already some model or whatever, or some program with some contents how to do that?
Want, we will send you a list of topics of our postgraduate studies. Okay, and if you will need more explanation, okay, it will be possible to deliver you the details. Okay, sure.
Not now, of course, no. You could give us some hints about do that. Not now, of course, but I think you have already some programs or some concepts that you are already working on with your students, and especially on postgraduate courses. Mm-hmm. It's in order not to invent the wheel.
Okay.
That's so. Well, I think the point of the culture education is more important because you have to explain why you have to change. What is the advantages of this new concepts of Industry 4.0 and 5G and all the things that affects the way you do the production of goods and services, and how does affect people in different ways, including the jobs. So you have to run a program about cultural change to prepare people to do the work, and before they go into the technical aspects, of doing this, about the sensors and IoT and Arduinos, whatever you use for doing this, cybersecurity, augmented reality, which are the tools of these things, But you have to know what this means and what accomplished with us for bettering the life of the people. So, well, I think there is, Francia, I think there is no more question. We got a lot of questions and doubts from our public. So we are very glad that you would be able to motivate all the participants to ask these doubts for you, which means that your presentation were very, motivating and useful for our public, for people from the outside university, and also we have some students and some academics from our university, from our three campus, Santiago, Talca, and Temuco, which they did they feel what you were delivering as a very pinching things for them to ask about this new or relatively new development, which are from starting 2014. Yeah? So I think we are very glad, very happy that your presentation caused all these questions in this webinar, which means that I think we have been successful in this organization of this event in this time of the year, and amid COVID and pandemic. So I think you should be very glad too that your work and your preparing this for being speakers today has been successful and productive. So thank you very much, all of you, Dr. Hyder, Dr. Marcin, and Dr. Marius, for your excellent presentation and also very motivating discourse about this very important topic about 5G and Industry 5.0, which in my School of Engineering we're trying to foster and to try to be a part of our normal activities in the near future. We are working on that, but of course it depends on a lot of factors. But we have some activities we have built and we are working a robotic automation lab, which is not so very impressive, but had all of the important things of an automation lab and robotic lab. And we have some workshop that has been delivered in the past, as today by Dr. Bevnerick, and also by some other Chilean experts in these topics. But we're trying to get more deeper on that and have a more formal education this for our students, independently of what the career they study, be the chemical engineering, industrial engineering, or informatics engineering. But every type of engineer and professional should have a knowledge on that and some skills on how to install that in their jobs when they go when they are employed in some different type of companies, be the private companies or in the government or public companies. So I think this is a very successful meeting and webinar. So thank you again, Dr. Marius, Dr. Hyder, and Dr. Marcin for your very interesting and motivating presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you also for us. Without the pandemic, without Industry 4.0, the digital technology and this multi-connectivity, we could be not function as a society, from my opinion. And the Industry 4.0 allows us to operate normally as possible. And I wish you everyone return to the normality and maybe the realization of the life plans in the new year 2021. Maybe I don't know. Maybe rapid introduction of vaccination against COVID-19 in the Poland has just started, and I hope we're going forwards. Thank you for us.
Okay,
Thank you for all.
Thank you for all, for your time, for your attention, okay? Muchas gracias a todos por su atención, por su tiempo. Well, I think that it is our first, no, it is not the first, it's the second, webinar that we offer together, Guillermo. And I think that it will be, well, some kind of activities. But maybe in the future it will be possible to develop together. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.
See you
Later. Okay.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care.